Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Yinzers at the Point podcast. I am your host, Tyler Aaron. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, it is at TylerAaron65. Or you can follow the show's Instagram or Twitter at PenguinsFan65. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Yinzers at the Point. And here in today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the Maple Leafs at Penguins game. In the second segment, we will have the game preview between the Penguins at Wild tonight. And to finish off this episode, we will look at, is Casey Desmith the better choice in net right now? And that is all coming up right after this intro.
Oh, slap me, silly Sydney. Oh, save my face with a roughly razor. Oh, Murphy and the fans are planted like a butcher's dog. Oh, let's go hunt moose on a Harley. Oh, scratch my back with a hat. As he beats Theodore like a ringing mule. Ladies and gentlemen, you got it. Elvis has just left the building.
All right, welcome back to this episode of the Yinzers at the Point podcast. And in today's first segment, we are going to look at the game review of the Maple Leafs at Penguins game. It was the Penguins' second of the three meetings between the Maple Leafs in a span of 15 days. The Maple Leafs take this one in the Berg 5-2 in this game, and a very gutsy performance by the Penguins. A lot of unfortunate, things happen in this game. But, the Maple Leafs deserve to win this game. Again, they beat the Penguins 5-2. And Toronto got goals by John Tavares, his 400th goal of his career. And it's funny because his first career goal was against the Penguins. It only makes more sense to score your 400th against the Penguins. That was his 9th of the year, with assists by Jordy Ben, his first in Alexander Kerfoot, his 5th of the year, and that was 12:04 into the first period. And exactly 3 minutes later, Mitch Marner makes it 2-0 Leafs as he gets his 4th of the year, with assists by Morgan Rielly, his 13th of the year, and John Tavares, his 9th. And then, boom, right after the puck is dropped in the second period, 11 seconds in, Michael Bunting gets his 3rd of the year, making it 3-0 Maple Leafs, with assists by Austin Matthews, his 9th, and William Nylander, his 10th of the year. And then 43 seconds later, Rickard Rakell gets his 7th of the season, making it 3-1 Maple Leafs, with assists by Jason Zucker, his 10th of the year, and Evgeny Malkin, his 10th of the year. And then a little under 2 minutes later, 2 minutes and 38 seconds into the second period, Sidney Crosby gets his 7th of the year on a nice backhand goal in the slot, making it 3-2 Leafs. But then with 50 seconds left to go, the second, Michael Bunting gets his 2nd of the game and 4th of the season, with assists by Pontus Holmberg, his 1st, and Austin Matthews, his 2nd of the game and 10th of the season. And then one goal scored in the third period, 17:37 into the third. William Nylander also gets an empty net goal, his 7th of the year, with Michael Bunting and Morgan Rielly getting assists. Bunting's 5th of the year and Morgan Rielly's 14th of the year. So penalties-wise, total of 5 penalties in this game, 3 from the Leafs, 2 by the Penguins. Penguins came 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 by Jan Ruda for roughing, and Jeff Carter gets one with just under 2 minutes to go in the third period for cross-checking. And then for the Leafs, 1 in the third, 1 in the second, or 1 in the first, and 2 in the second. 1 in the first, Kaylee Yarncroke 2 minutes for tripping. 4 minutes and 2 seconds in the second, Giordano goes for tripping. 6:40 into the second, Bunting goes for roughing. And Dennis Malgin in the third goes for 2 minutes for high sticking Chris Letang. And I get that this loss looks ugly, but also, the Penguins didn't play that bad offensively. 37 total shots for the Penguins in this one, only 33 for the Leafs. Hits-wise, 25 hits for the Leafs, 50 for the Penguins, so they double it. And the Penguins did well in the face-off circle, too, winning 28 face-offs with the Leafs only winning 23. That gives the Penguins a 54.9% win ratio and only 45.1% for the Maple Leafs. But 3 power play opportunities for the Penguins, 1 for the Maple Leafs. Both teams got 0 power play goals, so 0%, 0 shorthanded goals. Total penalties, Toronto had 4, Penguins had 2. Total of 8 penalty minutes for the Leafs, 4 for the Penguins. 27 block shots by the Leafs, 15 from Pittsburgh. 7 takeaways for the Penguins, 6 for the Leafs. And giveaways, 10 giveaways for the Penguins and 7 for the Maple Leafs. 3 stars of this game, Rickard Rakell gets 3rd star, 1 goal and 0 assists. 2nd star, Austin Matthews, 0 goals and 2 assists. And Michael Bunting gets 1st star for the Leafs at 2 goals and 1 assist. So with this loss, the Penguins now fall to a record of 6-7-3, which is still at 15 points and 7th in the Metropolitan. With this loss, it puts them 11 points out of first place, with the Devils leading the Metro with a 13-3 record. And then for the Leafs, they improved to 9-5-3, 21 points, second in the Atlantic Division. And we got a matchup coming up again against the Leafs, November 26th, back at the Paint Can in the Berg. Again, like I said previously in an episode, their 3rd meeting between these two teams in a span of 15 days. But, a lot of stuff went down. Matt Murray makes his return to Pittsburgh starting. He played unbelievable, making a total of 35 saves. He went 35 for 37, which is a save percentage of 945. And then Casey Desmith in goal. He stopped a total of 28 of 33, which gives them an 848 save percentage, which isn't ideal. But again, with Jari being a little sidelined now, definitely have to see more coming out of Casey Desmith here. And then Teddy Bluger makes his debut coming off IR. He played fairly well in this game. It really brings out the bottom 6 a little bit, makes it a little bit better than what it was. Of course, with Teddy Bluger being reinstated, Philip Hollander has been sent down to the AHL. So back to having no cap room at all, which totally sucks. But, it's the NHL in today's world. It's hard to have salary cap space. But a lot of mistakes here. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's the curse of the RoboPen, as the Penguins were in the reverse retros tonight. And it was Hockey Fights Cancer night in the Berg. I don't think it's the curse of the Robo Penguin at all. Those jerseys are beautiful, but a lot of mistakes. The Crosby's line is not cutting it anymore. There needs to be a change, and there was a change. And I will talk about that a little more in depth in the next segment when I talk about the game preview versus the Wild. But, Crosby's line really hasn't done anything with this game. They've been on for, I think, first 2 goals of this game. Crosby's line was on. So, not looking good on the Crosby line. And, the Penguins' second line with Raquel, Malkin, and Zucker, I mean, they're the best line on the Penguins right now. Absolutely. And, I don't know. It's just a change needed to be made there. Mike Sullivan has addressed it. And, again, I will talk about that more in depth in the next segment. But, how the Penguins going to play off of this, if the Penguins do, in fact, lose a bunch on this 3-game road trip, because it's relatively an easy road trip, as the Penguins play on the Wild tonight, Winnipeg on Saturday, and Chicago on Sunday. These are 3 teams who probably won't be in the playoffs this year. Wild having the best chance at it, but if you can't come out of this road trip coming up with no more than 4 points, a change needs to be addressed, and whether it's a trade or a waive, but I don't know, but something's gonna have to change. Whether it's the Fenway Sports Group that makes that decision, or Ron Hextall does something to change the team up a bit. Whatever is going down, this is a very disappointing loss, and it's definitely one that we could have won very easily. But that's going to do it for the first segment of the Yinzers at the Point podcast. Coming up in the next segment, we will look at the game preview of the Penguins and Wild tonight, and after that we will look at is Casey Desmith the better choice in net right now for the final segment. So stay tuned for that, and I will be right back right after this break. Alright, I am back here on the Yinzers at the Point podcast, and in this segment we are going to look at the game preview between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild. This is the Penguins and Wild's first meeting of the season, with their final meeting of the season in the Berg will be on April 6th. So not going to see the Minnesota Wild till close to or right at the end of the year for this. But 8 o'clock puck drop for this one. As I am filming this, it is 6:39, so we're about an hour and 21 minutes away from puck drop here. And right now, Wild, they're sitting right in the middle of the Central Division. They are 7-2 with 16 points, which is actually 1 point better than the Penguins. And Minnesota is 4th in the Central Division, sitting behind Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado. So it's going to be a good one. A few players to note here who won't play. POJ is still day-to-day. Marc-Andre Fleury has just been put on the IR by the Wild with an upper body injury. Jordan Greenway is out for this game, and Brandon Duhaime, he should be back in the lineup tonight, but for the Wild, but was on the IR for this. But the betting odds by Caesars Sportsbook, the line is Pittsburgh at -110, and the over/under is 6.5. And if you're in the Minnesota area and you want to go, right now, tickets are as low as $30, but that is also an hour and 20 minutes till game time. But it's for sure going to be a great game between the two. Goalie matchup for this one, we have Tristan Jarry in goal for the Penguins and Philip Gustafsson in goal for the Minnesota Wild. Starting over on the Minnesota Wild side, Philip Gustafsson has a record of 1-3-1, has a save percentage of .914, has a goals saved above expected of -0.45, and has 0 shutouts. For Tristan Jarry, he has a 4-3-2 record, 900 save percentage, a goals saved above expected of minus 3.45, and has 0 shutouts as well. But it's sure going to be a good game tonight. Some team stats between the two. Power play percentage for the Penguins, 18.2%, which is 25th in the league. For the Wild, 21.8%, which is 15th in the league. Penalty kill percentage for the Wild, 81.5%, which is 9th in the league. And for the Penguins, 75.9%, which is 24th in the league. Goals for percentage for the Wild is 2.63, which is 28th in the league. And for the Penguins, it is 3.5 goals, which is 8th in the league. Goals against average for the Wild is 2.88, which is 12th in the league. And for the Penguins, it is 3.56, which is 26th in the league. Face-off percentage, 46.6% for the Wild, which is 25th in the league, and 51.5% for the Penguins, which is 10th in the league. And then, like I said before, Wild have a 7-7-2 record, and the Penguins have a 6-7-3 record. Leaders, player stats for both teams. Jake Getzel leads the Penguins in goals with 8. Kirill Kaprizov leads the Wild in goals with 10. Matt Zuccarello leads the Wild with 10 assists. Jason Zucker leads the Penguins with 10. Genny Malkin leads the team in points for the Penguins with 17. And Kaprizov leads the Wild with 18. Goals on the power play, Malkin leads with 5 and Kaprizov with 9. Jan Ruda leads the Penguins in plus-minus with +9 and Spurgeon with +8. But it's surely going to be a good matchup tonight. Projected starting lineups for both teams, starting off with the Minnesota Wild. So on the first line for the Minnesota Wild, we have Kaprizov, Gaudreau, and Matt Zuccarello on the first line. On the second line, we have Duhamel, Eriksson Ek, and Foligno on the second. On the third, we have Shaw, DeWar, and Boldy. And on the fourth, we have Sam Steele, Marco Rossi, and Tyson Jost. On the defensive side for the Wild, Middleton and Spurgeon on the first pairing, Brodin and Dumba on the second, and Merrill and Addison on the third, and Gustafsson starting in goal with McIntyre backing him up. And then on the Penguins side of things, Mike Sullivan finally changed the top 6. We are back to Getzel, Crosby, and Raquel on the first line. Zucker, Malkin, and Rust on the second line. McGinn, Carter, and Heinen on the third. And Paling, Bluger, and Archibald on the fourth. On the defensive side for the Penguins, Pettersson and Letang on the first pairing. Dumoulin and Petrie on the second pairing. And Ruedel and Ruda on the third. And Jarry is going to get the start in goal for the Penguins with the Smith backing him up. But it's going to be a good game. A lot of questions happening. Let's see if the top 6 can do well. See if Crosby's line gets back up and going with Raquel being back on that first line. See how Russ plays with Genny Malkin. Evgeny Malkin. That came out weird. But again, see how Jarry does. Kasperi Kapanen not in lineup tonight. He's being a healthy scratch. I talked about it in the last episode of how much longer will Kapanen be a Penguin. It's almost, it feels like it's guaranteed to say that, Kapanen will be finished as a Pittsburgh Penguin. And, for someone we've drafted, we traded back for, I don't care how he gets out of here. He really is really struggling here in Pittsburgh. And I mean, just today, during optional skate at practice, Kasperi Kapanen was on the ice doing rushes, and he was clearly frustrated with himself. He broke his stick off the post right next to Casey Desmith, I believe. But he's clearly frustrated with himself that he's not scoring or anything, and maybe a change of scenery is needed with Kapanen. But it's nice to see Mike Sullivan changing back the lines to what it was at the beginning of the year with Getzel, Crosby, Raquel. I personally wasn't a fan of that. I was always a fan of Getzel, Crosby, Russ, but clearly that hasn't worked out this year. But this is a must-win game. Minnesota doesn't really score many goals. If you stay out of the penalty box, you'll be okay, Pittsburgh. So it seems like all what Minnesota can score on is the power play. So that's a big tips to win here is stay out of the penalty box. And you stay out of the penalty box and all will be good, I'm sure. Philip Gustafsson, former Penguin, we gave him to Ottawa for pretty much a sack of pucks. But, probably former Penguin curse, I don't know, happened, and boom, Gustafsson gets a 38-save shutout. He has let up far more goals. His goals against average is pretty average, but also not great either. But, can Jarry get back to himself? Can the Penguins' offense score those goals? And can the defense come in clutch when they need them? Those are the questions tonight. So I can't wait to watch this game. We're almost an hour away from puck drop for this one, but it'll be an exciting game to watch. So coming up in the final segment of today's episode, we are going to look at, is Casey Desmith the better choice in net right now? So that is coming up right after this break. Alright, I am back with the final segment of today's episode of, is Casey Desmith the better choice in net right now? And, it's really been a struggle for Tristan Jarry lately, and it just makes Penguins fans wonder, with Desmith starting to get hot and Jarry struggling, is should we start playing Desmith going forward until Jarry is at full health? If you haven't known already, Tristan Jarry has been dealing with some health issues lately, and it just makes me wonder if this is going on recently, or these health issues started when he broke his leg back in March, April, when he had to miss the playoffs. So, but Jarry, he had a hot start to the year. He was 4-0 to start the year, and now in his last 5, he's 0-3-2. So in just 9 games this year for Jarry, he's 4-3-2, has a goals against average of 3.55, and has a save percentage of 900. That is still not bad, but he hasn't been up to par, lately. Like, just in his last 5 games that he's played, versus Montreal, 881 save percentage. Versus Seattle, 893 save percentage. Versus Boston, 850 save percentage. Versus the Canucks, 857 save percentage. And versus the Oilers, 872 save percentage. That's in his last 5 games. Definitely not what you want to see from your starting goaltender, who had, so much hype this year. And, here, I'll read off his first 4 starts to the year. First game versus the Coyotes, 929 save percentage. Second game versus the Lightning, 944 save percentage. third game versus the Kings, 975 save percentage. And in Columbus, 906 save percentage. So it's like, is Jari okay? And, it just depends on whether or not he's up to par. Because, if the Penguins lose this game to the Wild tonight, I can really see that Casey Desmith is the starter from now for just I'd say a little bit, till maybe Jari just needs to take, a week off or whatever to recoup a bit with his health issues or physical issues, whatever. But, like, moving on over to the Smith side, has played very hot lately. Record not the greatest. He's 2-4-1 this year, but 2.86 goals against average and a 910 save percentage this year. That's better than Jari's is this year. But like looking at the Smith starts this year, from the beginning, he lost in overtime in Montreal, 923 save percentage. In Calgary, 889 save percentage. In Seattle, 931 save percentage. In Buffalo, 871 save percentage. Those were all losses. He started out the year 0-3-1. And then he gets his first win of the year in Washington with a 960 save percentage. Wins another one in Toronto with a 933. And then, of course, last night he had an 875 for save percentage, on Tuesday he did. So, not the best, but, he's been really consistent with his starts with Casey Smith versus Jari being kind of all over the place this year. But, it's just a thought of me wondering, since Jari's on the down low, is starting to Smith the answer now? And, I think it is, but also if Jari can get up to par, back at his 110% self, the Penguins' ways right now would easily change. Jari could maybe by the end of the year be in the running for the Vezina if he can rebound himself. But that's going to do it for this segment. And before I close this episode, I got a little bit of a little bonus segment for you, if you will. I have another update on the Penguins Winter Classic jerseys. I saw a picture of what the Penguins jerseys will look like. I have heard that there's going to be some navy blue in it, but again, this is just sources and rumors that I heard, but I have an exact idea of what the Penguins are going to go with. There's just some changes that I don't know if the Penguins are going to go with a black and gold or, have some navy. I do think that, the Penguins will go black and gold here, but I've heard navy, so I don't know. But what it looks like it's a cream jersey is what it looks like, which I'm very excited about because I want the Penguins to do a cream jersey with either black or navy blue stripe going down in the middle of the jersey, like two stripes, and then of course a black or navy blue at the bottom with that Pirates P in the middle, and above it has a Penguins cursive font that says Penguins on it instead of the Pirates like the Pirates used to have, and the Winter Classic logo over the right shoulder. And whether I've seen this jersey in gold lettering or gold numbers, black lettering, and navy lettering, so I don't know much about that. But it does look like that the helmet is going to be either navy blue or black instead of a cream helmet. Excuse me. But I don't think I've ever seen a cream helmet before. So it looks like the Penguins helmets are either going to be black or navy blue. Pants will either be black or navy blue as well, with that Penguin/Pirates P on there. Black or navy gloves, again, I really don't know. And then cream socks with just 2 black or navy blue outlines. But, I'm excited for this jersey to come out on November 25th. But, I'm excited for this Winter Classic, for these jerseys to drop. I'm excited to see what the Bruins is going to look like, too. I haven't heard much on the Bruins jersey front, but I am excited to see what the Penguins jerseys will look like on a cream-based jersey. And then also in other news, if you don't know already, I am the public address announcer for my local community college, the BC3 Pioneers, and they did an amazing job. They wrote an article about me with broadcasting and stuff, and it's really cool. It came out today. I have a link on my Instagram or Twitter, my personal, at TylerAaron65. It's in my bio. If you want to look at that article, I would recommend it. They did a really good job on it, and I'm just excited that I got the opportunity to do that. And so with that being said, my work schedule is really crazy this weekend, so I'm hoping to have my next episode out after the Penguins 3-game road trip. So either Monday, November 21st, or November 22nd, before the Penguins take on the Calgary Flames. But, monumental milestone could be happening on Sunday if this player stays healthy. Guinea Malkin will reach the 1,000 game marker in his career Sunday versus the Chicago Blackhawks. But, if he wants to rest for that game, then he will likely play his 1,000th game at home versus the Calgary Flames. But, it's his decision on what he wants to do. But that is going to do it for this episode, and I will talk to you all when the Penguins road trip is over. So have a great day, and let's go Pens.